Hi, my name is Rachelle Smith, certified personal fitness trainer, professional speaker, and author. Last time, highlighted the importance of motivation to your fitness journey. And folks, while I planned on it just being a two-part episode, I'm going to continue this conversation on motivation as I've received some feedback. And I'm going to keep this conversation going because I know, as you've heard me say before, motivation is a do or die aspect of fitness. This time, I'm actually going to discuss the elephant in the room regarding motivation. And that is environment. Environment, 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 environment. We know our real estate folks often say location, location, location is their slogan. And when I think about health clubs and fitness facilities, I often say environment, environment, environment is everything. This is actually a conversation I've had here in the last couple of days with a couple of different people, and I recognized I needed to bring this forth as an official topic here on a Fitness Friday. Because folks, at the end of the day, and I mean this for gym goers, health club facility goers, as well as those in leadership roles. Okay, I have some of every type of person who tunes into these Fitness Fridays. Leadership folks, corporate, private, trainers, salespeople, just gym goers themselves. And so all different types of people recognize environment is everything. If you want to create an environment for success regarding your own personal fitness journey or the success of your facility or health club, it's incredibly important that you nail down this aspect of environment. Creating a positive, healthy, respectful, safe, and secure environment is absolutely non-negotiable. All right, when we think about your Anytime Fitness, who's the #1 global franchise, and they're literally taking the world by storm. Founded, 13 years ago. Got, almost 3,500 locations now across the world, extremely successful. Your Lifetime Fitness, who's charging for their premier facilities $150 a month in individual membership. So, but why are they able to do that? Your CrossFit, which is also taking the fitness world and has revolutionized the fitness world with more than 13,000 CrossFit boxes around the world. Why are these folks able to do this? And why are these folks so successful? And the reason for that is environment. And I tell you, as you heard me say in the marketing episode before, folks are willing to pay for environment. And that's why 20 years from now, I mean, you can take this to the bank, 20, 30 years from now, your larger facilities are going to be extinct. I mean, we already see that now. The growth in the fitness world, growth in fitness facilities is not occurring in your larger facilities. What we're seeing now in a tremendous trend toward, which will continue, your smaller, more specialized facilities. And why is that? Again, your Orange Theory Fitness for group fitness, your Zip Fitness, your Anytime Fitness, even your Planet Fitness, that's kind of a more specialized approach. But why is that? Okay, environment. It's all about environment. People are saying, we don't want to deal with the big box gyms. We want to deal with these small things. And again, your Fitness Together, which is a one-on-one personal training franchise that is doing extremely well. Your Title Boxing. Why is that? Why are these franchises climbing up the ranks and these corporate entities climbing up the ranks? It's all about environment. And the environment is something that you can control. There's so much in fitness that you can't control, but you can control your environment. So it's up to you leaders, again, you owners and you general managers and assistant managers. It's incredibly important that you take this seriously because it's too many. I mean, you've got fierce competition now in the fitness world. Will continue to be cutthroat because why? There's so many options now. This isn't 1985 where, again, your big box gyms proliferated. All right, now, like I said, there's this trend towards smaller gyms. So people are saying, oh, I can go to the small gym, be in and out, get personalized one-on-one attention, whether it's training or an Anytime Fitness. People don't want all the hoo-ha. People don't want all the nonsense. People don't want all this other stuff. All right, so, but it's whether you own or you manage a large gym or not, you've got to recognize it's up to you to create an environment. And as a gym goer, it's up to you to demand and expect an environment that will be conducive and positive and supportive as you move towards and reach and maintain your fitness goals, because this is truly a do or die. And that's why I say this is a kind of the elephant in the room where you can be the most motivated person in the world, but if you don't like the place that you're going to, guess what? You're not going to go. And that's why I think leaders don't quite understand this. It's a lot more expensive, whether we're talking about fitness facilities or some type of food, fast chain restaurant, or actually any business in particular. It's always more expensive to acquire a new customer, a new member, a new client than it is to retain an existing member or client. So think about that and keep that in mind. and ask yourself, what can you do to keep your members? Because again, it's a lot more expensive to try to get new ones. Yes, you always want new people coming in, but you got to recognize the cost of doing that is very expensive. So create an environment that just at the end of the day, people just want to work out. People just want to do their thing. People don't want to deal with any drama. People don't want to deal with any problems. And I tell you this, again, I have more than almost 22 years and a half experience in fitness facilities myself. Of course, even before that, my dad managed, first step foot in the gym when I was 5 years old. Of course, my dad has had for more than 30 years leadership roles in gyms and sports facilities and recreation facilities, had these leadership roles. So I grew up with that. And so I know a strong gym and I know gyms that struggle. And one thing I pointed out in my upcoming fitness book is no matter what, any facility, any spinning studio, any community center, regardless, is going to have strengths and weaknesses. There is no perfect facility. So it's important that you recognize what is important to you. And it's so important because, like I said, if you don't like where you're going, you are not going to go. And then your fitness journey is basically dead in the water at that point. And I don't want that to happen. I want you to be successful. And I want you leaders, and I want your facilities to be successful. All right. One thing that actually, that really I'm having the same conversation in the last couple of times, in the last couple of days, and I recognize I needed, like I said, to bring this forth. And someone said to me, like, oh my God, Rachelle, you're still at your gym in Novi? Like, if that would have been me, I would have been gone. And so think about that, especially you as owners and you as leaders. Think about that comment. Rachelle, if I were you, I would have been gone. And the way that I respond and the way that I absolutely feel, there's actually two reasons why I'm still there. Number one, I have a ton of tenure in the fitness world and fitness facilities, so it takes a lot to deter me. Not some psycho stalker pervert at my gym in Novi, nor clueless, incompetent general manager. It takes a lot, and those two factors at my job, they're not going to discourage me. They're not going to dissuade me. All right, I've got a lot of confidence. I've got a lot of tenure, and but most people don't feel that way. And so you owners and leaders need to understand that concept. When drama happens, when nonsense happens, it's up to you to shut it down because your members are going to be walking. Again, most people are not going to spend time complaining and going through the rigmarole and all of this stuff. They're going to be out the door to your competitor. And so you need to understand that. All right. So the first one, I'm very confident, whatever, I have no problem escalating issues and handling conflict and all this stuff. And number two, mentioning escalating, Novi Police Department, I have no problem. There's speed dial. Okay, if I have any issues, any problems, whatever, I don't know, I could go in there, and even though I bring nothing of value in any fitness facility, hypothetically, I don't know, my wallet or something gets stolen. Okay, would never happen because I never do it. But my first call would be, and always will be, to the Novi Police Department. Moving forward, will be call the police. So I'm not in a position where I need management. I'm depending on management, depending on leadership to solve problems for me. Okay, I recognize I've got some folks that will shut stuff down for me real quick and make things happen. All right, so those are the couple of reasons why I'm still there, and why, even though it's kind of crazy whatever when it happened, but it's folks and gym goers, do what's right for you. Many of you, like many folks have actually communicated to me, like that freaked me out. It's just crazy, whatever, this and that, and they be gone. All right, and so if you need to leave, if you're dealing with a situation and it's not working for you, then you need to go. If you don't have the confidence, or you don't have a situation where you've got the support of law enforcement, then I encourage you, and you have my full support, to do whatever you need to do to stay focused on your fitness journey, because that's so important. Because people don't want to do it. At the end of the day, people, like I said, they just want to work out and just be done. Actually, something that happened, and it just occurred to me, August 17th. So I get a call on my cell phone. All right, Rachelle, this is number I didn't recognize. This is law enforcement person X here in Metro Detroit at a local police agency I won't name. Basically, I need for you to call me back. And I'm thinking, like, now what is this? What is law enforcement calling me for? Okay, so call the number back. And basically, in a nutshell, hey, we've got a situation where some man is creeping women out in a local Anytime Fitness here in Metro Detroit. I won't say which one. But I need to get a physical description of for your situation, the guy in your situation, and we're trying to figure out, is this the same one? Okay, so guess your average gym goer is not going to try to deal with all that. Yes, I helped, and yes, I provided the information, but I was just so impressed when I got that call. Why is that? Because that Anytime Fitness owner shut it down real quick, got police involved and shut it down real quick. All right, and so it's so important that you create that type of environment. And that's another reason why I could go into a long story and just a long explanation of why anytime fitness is so successful. Okay, accountability. All right, they've got the owners. It's just incredible, their level of accountability, that they've got to shut stuff down. And so I don't care if you're in a large facility. Yes, your LA Fitness, your Lifetime Fitness, those are corporate owned. They've got rules, policies, and procedures. They shut stuff down. They get the police involved. It's no joke. But why is that? Because it's a liability. Just like the Anytime Fitness, facility that I just mentioned, it's a liability. Okay, so the people getting creeped out, women and getting, it happens, folks, sexually assaulted and just all kind of stuff, inappropriately touched by trainers. All right, all of this type of stuff, and lawsuits are filed. Back in May of this year, I poured through a number of legal cases in fitness facilities dating back 30 years, and crazy stuff happens in gyms. And why is that? Because the environment is conducive to that kind of stuff. People know what they can get away with. So it's important for you to establish an environment of accountability where people know that, hey, you act crazy in here. Just like when I think about my home gym in Louisiana, Bel Air Fitness. It is not spoken. It's never been spoken. There's no quote on the walls anywhere stating, you act crazy, you act up in here, you're gone. Okay, but that's it. It's, you already know that walking in the door. Just that environment is that tight, and that 50,000 square feet, 2 levels. But all right, there's environments where all right, you got to shut this stuff down, because again, you can't. You're going to end up losing members. Again, you're losing revenue, and then you're chasing other members. All right, something that my gym here in Novi actually did, it was the summer of 2015. I was so proud of them when they did that, because they've got a lot of strengths. My gym has some strengths. I'm not going to deny that. But it's also, just like any other facility, it's got weaknesses. And I would say from the weaknesses, and that's how my situation, ended up happening to me, is there's some safety security issues. And this is actually something, I was a member of it when I first moved here to Novi in 09. It was Fusion Fitness then. But you always got the sense that, like, who's running the place? Is anybody in charge? There's not kind of that presence of, kind of managerial leadership type presence that's always consistent. Okay, so that was lacking even, years ago, and that's something that's continued. So there is kind of this kind of open, anything goes type of culture, and to actually change that is incredibly disruptive. And so they actually, of course, not being aware of this, because I'm just sharing, my thoughts with you on this, but they hired this security guy. I guess he was about 6 feet tall, was very fit, and maybe early 50s, and well respected. The people liked him, and all of a sudden, like, he left. And they need, and I would say that this facility in particular, because they do have those challenges, they need to build, in my opinion, get 2, 3, 4, 5 people, build a security team, maybe even create a hybrid position, and just have, again, you got to have men that are fit, that are buff, that are like 6 feet, 5'11" and above, again, that are able to hold people accountable in there, so men know, all right, you can't get away with this nonsense in here, okay? Because I spoke up, and people know what I was dealing with. I had other women coming to me telling me some stuff, all right? And this is the kind of stuff people aren't going to, especially women. I mean, this is why this dynamic always happens. When something happens to one, then all of a sudden you always hear all these other stories of things that's happened to them, whether it be, somebody, politician or someone in the community. It's always these other women always come forward when that kind of stuff happens, because people don't feel comfortable speaking up. I'm confident. I've spoken up, and I have no problem doing so. But just recognize, because I don't want you to lose any people. All right, but you gotta create an environment that people feel safe in, people feel secure in, or otherwise, and they're not happy, if they're not whatever, they're going to leave. So don't look at me and say, well, Rachelle can do it, Rachelle can handle it. No, Rachelle is telling you with a lot of people, and I can just tell you, just as one as an expert in motivation, you're gone. These people are down the street. It's your competitor, okay? And there's different aspects. I'm going to talk about that in market research in terms of evaluating, okay, what your retention rate is for new members. You can see that. You can see how long is you got 30 days, you got 60 days, you got 90 days, you got 6 months, you got a year. Are you tracking how long your new members stay? Are you finding out, do you have exit surveys to figure out why they're leaving? All right, at that time, they may share some of this kind of more nonsensical stuff with you. So, but just recognize, it's up to you to create an environment, and it's up to you as gym owners to demand and expect that. And if that means you got to go somewhere else, then do so. All right, it's up to you. I've got reasons why, and I have no problems doing whatever I need to do, but do what works for you. And it's important, as I close on this note, yes, I wear many different hats, but if you know that one of the words that's in the name of my business is consulting. So yes, one of the things I do is actually I go undercover, and I evaluate environments and people within those environments. And it's different types of, yes, gyms and fitness facilities, but businesses and franchises of all different types of sectors and industries, and even nonprofits, including churches. That's something I enjoy doing, and evaluating facilities, buildings, all of that from top to bottom, but also the people and including management within those facilities and making recommendations. So, but that's why I'm telling you, this environment thing is a do or die aspect of the fitness of your facility, again, in terms of getting members and keeping members, which is far less expensive, as I said, or you as a gym goer. The environment that you're in is a make or break, because if you don't like where you are, if you're unhappy, you can just throw in the towel right now at the end of the day. So do what you need to do, owners and leaders as well as gym goers, to find that environment that will support you, that will nurture you, that will help you to keep on keeping on during your fitness journey. Because truly, I want all gyms to be successful. I want all health clubs and studios to be successful, including my own here in Novi. All right, because when things happen in facilities, that's a black mark on the fitness world. That's a black mark on the fitness industry. All right, not necessarily just one location, because that means people are going to give up. People are going to throw in the towel, and that's not what we want. And I want you, each and every gym goer, each and every person who's thinking about fitness and having a healthier lifestyle, I want you all to be successful, but recognize you got to step up, take responsibility to do what you need to do in order to be successful. And that is, closing with this, folks, environment, 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 environment is everything. So I thank you so much for your time. Make it a wonderfully fit day.